There should be, you should click on SPC. Now try connect. Okay. Okay, it says, so use your SPC, whatever you use to log into Blackboard, use that as your username and your password is your password. And try that, okay? Because obviously you have to be able to, I mean, you can't automatically connect to every network that you go to. That would be unrealistic. So you've got to be able to go in and tell it what to connect to. Because you can see there's how many. There's even a hidden network around here. It says it down at the bottom of his list. It shows I'm still connected from yesterday, so, when I walked back in. Last year, I could hardly ever get in on my iPad, so. So I'm gonna be ready for no connection with the schools, so I'm missing Reed and Rodney. Rodney's our ex-Army guy. Mm-hmm. Huh? He used to be in the Army? Yeah, that's what he was telling me, is that he enlisted at 17, retired at 31, and that's what he was saying, he gets 90%. At 31, he's 32, and he gets 90% of his retirement. Good morning. That's Hale Center, right?
Good morning, yes ma'am.
Is the password not working? It's not working. Okay, after this class, what I might do is, do you have a 9:30 class?
I have, yeah.
You do?
Well, it's
When's your next class?
it's like at 10.
Okay, so we're gonna go over to the IT guy and see if he can help you get in, okay? Because I'm not great at passwords, or what you guys, no, it's okay, but you can see that you can do, okay, Hale Center's there, and I can almost hear him. Yesterday, we talk about topics for the, personal paragraph, and it's so soft over there, I actually moved the camera over and I stood over there so I could hear the students' responses. Because it's supposed to be interactive TV, not just me doing all the talking, so. All right, let me get out of that. Let me do one more thing. Let me check my email in case anybody sent me anything, so. Room reservations, no, we're cool, nothing in there, all right, there's Wellman, I just need LazBuddy. Very interesting, the young lady at LazBuddy, I taught her brother 2 or 3 years ago on ITV, so it's kind of cool. And they're a little slow getting in there. You'll have to forgive me, I, again, left my mouse at home, bless you, and, left my mouse at home, so I'm having to use touch screen. And what's really embarrassing is like your computer, I will try to touch screens on other computers. It's embarrassing. Is it? You know, it's just so much easier when you have touch screen, I'm gonna be honest. Particularly when you forget your mouse. So hopefully the facilitators have copied the 2 pages on the paragraph, charting the paragraph. Oh, that's not the one. Well, we'll open it up first.
I have not got that here in Hale Center.
I'm sorry?
I don't have that paper that you're talking about.
I can't tell who's speaking.
Hale Center?
Hale Center? I thought I sent that. That's,
Miss
Becky,
Perkinson.
It starts with a P. Perkinson? Is that right? I thought I
Yes,
sent
ma'am.
that yesterday. Yeah, I thought I sent it yesterday. Let me send that to you very quickly, okay? I'll have to close this one. It's, technology, we have our issues some days, as does the instructor. Because I think I send stuff, and maybe sometimes I forget. Okay. There we go. Handouts. I'm just gonna do that. You hate it when you touch something wrong. I hit what I thought was my initials, and I actually hit the control key. Okay, attach. Give me just a second. I've got to upload the other one very quickly. Okay. I'm gonna need to go check and see if the other one's sent, so, sent item. Well, I swear I sent that email. Wellman Union, oh, wait, yeah, Wellman, did y'all get Roger, did I send it to you, Coach? I'm sorry, Coach, did I send it to you?
Yes.
Was that a yes? Do you got, Wellman, just wave your hands if you have the handouts. That takes off that, okay. Haley, did you get copies for you? Okay, cool, so, we're there. Apologize, it's, gonna take a while. What I normally do, because I have Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, is, I will send out all of my handouts in one huge mailing to all of my facilitators. And this week I decided to do it differently. So, it's quite possible that I didn't get Ms. Perkinson's on there, so, we make mistakes and we learn and live from them. So what we're gonna look at right now is you have the one that has 2 paragraphs on it. It's called Charting the Paragraph, or Paragraph Charting. It says, it begins with, I have several pets in my family. Oh, interesting, I've had it on the computer, but it hasn't been over there. There we go, Paragraph Charting. Don't panic, Wellman, I'm sure she'll get you copies as soon as she can, okay? And I'm just gonna read this to you. And if you have laptops, you can always look at it too, because it is all of these documents are in the Paragraph Charting folder that's in week 1, okay? But, the purpose of what we're doing right now is that good writing has unity and it has cohesion. Unity means everything is about the topic that you say it's gonna be about, and then cohesion means that it flows smoothly throughout the essay, or the paragraph, or even the sentence. So, one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of novice writers, I don't wanna say inexperienced or, student writers, is that paragraph, you have no clue, you just write. You write a paragraph and you think, okay, I've done a good job on it. This is just to kind of reinforce how a well-organized paragraph looks. And it all begins with the first sentence, which is the topic sentence. Because the first sentence in a paragraph, and I'm not talking about a narrative, I'm talking about other kinds of writing, essay writing that deals with argument, or compare and contrast, or process, or evaluative, or definition, or, one of those kind of things. Or, so when you're reading something, that's what happens. So, this says, I have several pets in my family. Okay, it's about me. It is at least 10 years old. So, a lot of these animals are dead. I hate to depress you, and trust me, one of them just passed away last Thanksgiving, so I still get teary-eyed when I think about that, okay? I'm gonna take this down size-wise just a little bit. I don't know if I can do it. I have several pets in my family. They range from dogs to cats to hermit crabs. Yes, I have hermit crab. It's hermit crab now. I only have one. I don't get too emotional when they die, I'll be honest, okay? I don't play with them a whole lot. My dogs are Abby, who is a 6-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix, and Baca, a 4-year-old Black Labrador. He's the one that passed away at 14 at Thanksgiving last year. Even though she is much smaller than the lab, Abby tells Baca exactly what she thinks of him and where he needs to go. If you've ever been around a Chihuahua, that's inherent in their nature, and you add it with the Dachshund, so you had a real bitchy little dog, okay? Well, that's just what she was. On the feline side, our house is home to Popcorn, a 16-year-old tabby female, she's deceased, and Pippin, a 6-year-old Maine Coon. He's been gone for 2 years. So, see, these are gonna make me cry. Pippin uses his size to pick on the smaller, older female. Our house would not be complete without the hermit crabs, Princess Leia, and Wedge Antilles. You might notice there's a theme in the names of my animals. I used to have 3 hermit crabs, but Biggs Darklighter died, before this paragraph was ever written. So I had 3, Biggs Darklighter, Princess Leia, and Wedge Antilles. All of them are characters out of Star Wars. Biggs Darklighter dies in the very first movie, The New Hope. He's Luke's friend who's fighting for the Resistance and gets blown up early on in the Death Star battle. Okay? And then Princess Leia obviously died. She has died, and my family also. So the only one left is Wedge Antilles, who is the only starfighter who survives the movies 4, 5, and 6. So I guess he's still alive. He's 17 years old. This little bitty hermit crab. So, sorry. They are the quietest pets I own, and the most exciting thing they do is climb up and stand on top of the artificial palm tree. That gives us crab trees. It would be very boring in my house without these pets. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that how long ago this was written, Michael Crabtree was playing for Texas Tech. And I think I'm the person that started the fans doing this in the stands, because that's what crabs do. Even little crabs, hermit crabs, okay? So I think I started that, so. I probably didn't, but I think I did. So, you'll notice that it's numbered. So if you'll grab each one of those pages, okay? When you write your personal paragraphs, it will help me if you number the sentences, okay? Because I will grade these online. It's the only thing I'll probably grade online, to be honest, just because it's easier. And if I have sentence numbers, then I don't even have to write. I can just put sentence 1 and tell you what I think of it, all right, when I do comments. So what you have in the second paragraph, it tells you what is going on in that sentence. So if you'll we're talking about the one that has 2 paragraphs on it, okay, on the handouts. Sentence 1 is the topic sentence stating the focus of the paragraph. I can only talk about my pets. I cannot talk about my car. I cannot talk about my husband. I cannot talk about my furniture. I can't talk about anything else but pets in that paragraph. That's what the first sentence of a paragraph is about. So if you say we're going to write an argument of essay and you want to say the United States should not intervene in foreign countries, militarily in foreign countries, because it costs American lives, then that paragraph that begins, because it costs American lives, the United States should not do this. Part of this, and then you talk about reasons, okay? So that's all you can talk about is it costs American lives. Having a father fought in Vietnam, that was kind of interesting for me. All right, sentence 2 is more specific. It mentions the types of the pets in the home. And when you go back and look at sentence 2, you're going to see that it lists dogs, cats, and crabs, okay? If you ever give an order in an essay, you have to follow that order. That's called organization. Even more so, I don't know if you go to church or not, but when you go to church, a lot of time the minister will say, well, today I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about this, and this, and this, and a lot of times they'll have 3 points, won't they? And then they talk about those 3 points, and then when they're done, they say, well, we talked about the organization is what drives the speech. Any of you guys at the schools do informative or persuasive speaking? That's exactly what you do in extemporaneous speaking. You have to give that order, particularly for listeners, because they can't keep up with your points if you don't. I judged 1A regionals this last year in informative, and I love judging informative and persuasive because organization is so much a part of it. When you're doing poetry and prose, there's all this interp stuff going on, but those, if you don't have it, you don't have your quotes, you don't get it done. Sorry, I got off track there, but just to let you know. So, and by golly, 1A schools, right? Everybody's from 1A, so I didn't judge any of y'all. It was at LCU this last year. All right, so that was sentence 2. If you give an order, you must follow it, okay? And you don't have to give the order in the topic sentence. You can just say, I'm going to talk about negative things about war. And then you can say, the major negative things are these. Do you see how actually the topic sentence for a paragraph could expand itself into the thesis for an essay? Do you see the organization is all related. All right, so sentence 3 deals with the first pet type mentioned, the dogs, and it gives names and ages, more specific information about the dogs. It gives you some interest, okay? Sentence 4 further defines the behavior of the dog, staying unified with the pet topic. Sentence 5 signals a change of pet using the transitional phrase on the feline side. If you're going to discuss multiple things, you do need a transition, particularly in a paragraph. And that's one of the things I want you to see is you can talk about more than one topic in a paragraph so long as it's in the topic sentence. Meaning it could be subheaders in a chapter in a textbook, okay? Sentence 5 signals the change of pet. Let's see. But that transitional phrase also says we're not going to talk about dogs anymore. So I cannot, after sentence 4, discuss dogs again because I've already said I'm going to talk about something else. So you can't do a circular argument. That's a very Eastern way to write and discuss things. Eastern hemisphere, they do things circularly. We are very linear in what we want to do out here in the West, okay? Sentence 6, let's see. Oh, and it points out here that sentence 5 is a lot like sentence 3 because it gives you the information about the cats and the genders, their names and genders, and then sentence 7, and you get some more information. Sentence 7 uses a more subtle transition to the hermit crabs. Sentence 8 talks about their behavior similar to sentences 4 and 6. And then sentence 9 refines on that issue. I had a student yesterday who said, what does crab trees have anything to do with the hermit crabs? Well, the word crab is in there. So I'm talking about their behavior. So if you've ever seen any crab of any kind, that's what they do. And it was written when, like I said, so when I originally used this, I've used this paragraph that long. All the students were going, oh, we know who Crabtree is. And if you want to see anything interesting, go back and look up Michael Crabtree catch on YouTube and watch it. Beat UT in the last seconds of the game. It wouldn't be so bad, but the Tech students flooded the field 2 times. They had to get them off the field to finish the game. Sentence 10 is a broader statement that finishes the topic, but it still talks about the pets. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to come over to my document camera. I'm going to show you what charting the paragraph looks like. Every time I print anywhere that's not in a certain room over in Building 3, we always get these cover sheets. So I use them as scrap pages. So when I come up, I'm going to go back and look at the paragraph. So when you're talking about charting the paragraph, you need to think about everything falls under the umbrella of the topic sentence. It's almost too bright. So sentence 1 says it's going to talk about pets. So I can't talk about cars. Let me zoom in a little bit. Can't talk about my husband. Can't talk about how the weather was. I can only talk about pets. And underneath it, we have sentence 2. Now notice how I indented underneath it to indicate that it's still on this topic, but it's more specific is what that's phrasing. So it talks about dogs, cats, and crabs. Okay? Let me go a little bit bigger. This is a very old document camera. I have a little turn thing to zoom in, and if I push it down too hard, it keeps zooming and will not stop. Okay. Sentence 3 then gives, you get Abby and you get Baca. Obviously, Abby was not named for a thing, but Baca's short for Chewbacca. My son named him. Okay. Sentence 4 gives you more specific information about the relationship, okay? So what I'm trying to do is visually show you the organization of a paragraph, okay? Sentence 5 comes back up here, and it talks about the cat. So I'm still under that umbrella of pets. I've just moved on to the second one. I'm following the order. Sentence 6 is about, and it does the same thing with the cats. It talks about Popcorn, she was a sweet kitty, and Pippin. Okay. Sentence 6 is about their behavior. I guess I could have just said that originally. Then we go to sentence 7, where you transition back up here to the crabs, and you have Princess Leia and Wedge Antilles. Okay? I'm too lazy to write out their names because I'm running out of space. Then you have sentence 8. That is, that's how they're quiet. It's their behavior. And then sentence 9 talks about crab trees. I'll just draw a tree. Okay. And then sentence 10 is almost like sentence 1. It's very general, but it sums up the paragraph. That's a well-developed paragraph, so it still falls underneath the umbrella of the topic sentence. Now, what would happen if sentence 6 all of a sudden talked about my car? It would not come under here. If I were charting sentence 6 and it was about cars, it would have to come up here, which means it's off topic. Grab a page each, okay, Rodney? So that is charting the paragraph. Now you're going to see that you have another paragraph there. Let's see. I didn't open it. Okay. Sorry. I felt so crazy. Open. This is the one that just, it talks about personal paragraph, and it's like 8 sentences long, okay? I'm going to read this to you. This is a paragraph I received several years ago from a student. What we're going to do right now is we're going to number the sentences, and then I want you to attempt to chart it on your own. I'll give you about 5, 6, 7 minutes to do that, and then we'll come back together and I'll show you what it should be, how it should be charted. All right? So sentence 1 is I am happy, so I don't want to do black, it's too too hard to tell. There's sentence one, I am happy to have the family that I have. So you can write on your piece of paper, all right? Sentence two says, I have one sister and my mom. Sentence three says, my mom's name is Jane and my sister's name is Janet. Now, I changed names to protect the innocent, okay? Because this was exactly how the student wrote it, and I didn't want you to know who it was. Sentence four is, my mom is the hardest working woman I have ever met. And the reason I number them with you guys is because it's amazing how people misnumber the sentences. Okay. Sentence five says, my sister is the most compassionate person. 6 says, I also have many dogs. 7 is, my best friends are Joe Bob Jones, Austin Smith, Austin White, Hunter Black, Walker Ranger, and Michael Cavazos. Yes, I did get a list of 6 friends. That was cool. Sentence 8 is, my life is incomplete without my family, friends, or even my canines. Sentence 9 says, I love my mom and sister very much. And sentence 10 says, I am beyond blessed to have them in my life. So you have 10 sentences to chart. Now, on your assignment, you only have to do 8. But this one has 10. So remember, everything has to fall under whatever the topic in that first sentence is. I will put back up here for you guys the one that I did so you can kind of remember how it looks. I'll zoom out just a little bit. Oh, sorry. I was thinking, bless you, again.
So just, 8.
Yeah, you just have to have 8 on your assignment, and we'll list that again, okay? If it's more specific, it gives more detailed information and kind of angles and things that really all I did is information. You can't read because I wrote it kind of long. But like it says, what it says on that head paragraph, that's how I can't grasp. So that's what I put there. So then, and so there's levels of organization paragraphs within essay, so just kind of show, okay? And you're gonna find that over the course of the class, I will put on coats and take them off. Cause you get old and your metabolism slows down and you get cold. So remember, if it's not on topic, if it doesn't deal with what's in that first sentence, it goes above sentence one. I did shut down. All right. Josh Young had a good game yesterday for the Frisco Rough Riders. Awesome. Give you another minute, and then I'm gonna show you how it should be charted, okay? Now, and I don't expect this to make you critical readers right away, okay? Jacqueline, Jackie's okay? Thank you. I thought I have that underlined, I wanna make sure, okay. Jason, Reed, Rodney. Okay. Somehow I signed out of all of my SPC stuff, so I'm signing back in. All right, how do you feel about your ability to chart a paragraph? Well, I've been doing it a long time. This is actually developed by a grammar person, or not grammar, but rhetoric person, named Christensen many years ago. And I just thought, wow, I was never taught anything like this, and I thought how helpful it was to realize that there are ways to write. You don't have to be a great writer to do organization, do you, if you know how to do it? All right. So let's go over here. Let me get my chair out of the way. And come over to the document camera. Let me pull up the paragraph again so I can see it. So sentence one, so it's going to talk about, I'm happy to have the family that I have. Pretty general, just like, I have a lot of pets, okay? Sentence two is more specific because it says I'm going to talk about, I have one sister and mom. Those are parts of a family. You agree? Okay. Sentence three. My mom's name is Jane and my sister's name is Janet. It's about his family, isn't it? Anything wrong with it? What? It adds more detail, so it's more specific. Look at sentence 2. Are you given an order in sentence 2? It says I'm going to talk about my sister and my mom, and sentence 3 then says my mom's name is, it's lost cohesion. The writer reversed the order. If you give an order, you have to follow it. Okay? So we give Jane, and that's not their names, by the way, and Janet. So we've lost cohesion here. Y'all follow? All right. There we go, so you can read what I'm writing. Jane and Janet. So there's a loss of cohesion. So cohesion is lost here. Now, let's talk about 10 sentences. If you lose cohesion, that feels like if I'm talking a 100-point scale on those 10 sentences, then losing cohesion between two sentences is going to be like 5 points off in my mind, okay? So now we're down to a 95. And I'm not even talking about the quality of the writing or grammar or anything else like that. Sentence 3 says, my mom's name is Jane, my sister's name is Janet. And then 4 is more specific, and it's about mom. It gives you, she is hard-working woman, HWW, because I don't want to spell out those words, okay? And sentence 5 is at the same level, and it is about Janet. And she is compassionate, C-O-M, all right? Sentence 6 says, I also have many dogs. Are dogs members of your family? How many of you people believe it? I'm raising my hand. The definition of family does not include pets. It's off topic. So sentence 6 is going to come up here above family, and we're going to put dogs there. But it's got a transition word in it. I don't have any problems with that. It has a transition word, so I'm okay with that. But the fact that it's about dogs, and the second sentence said I was going to talk about my sis and my mom, now we've got a bigger error. So there's 10 points off right there. So now we're at 15, so we're now at an 85. Just thinking in my mind, okay? I'm just thinking in my mind. So now it's down to an 85. Sentence 6, instead of giving information about the dogs, says, my best friends, and gives a list of 6 best friends. By the way, the student wrote this essay, it's getting married, I'm going to be at the wedding, and probably half of those guys are going to be there too, okay? That's what I'd say. So this is somebody I'm friends with, okay? But are friends part of your family? Not the strict definition of family. So now we've got a second sentence. And let's just say, that's another 10 points off, so we're now down at a 75 for organization, okay? And really, that's the main focus of this paragraph is organization. Sentence 8 says, my life is incomplete without my friends, family friends, or canines. Only one of those was mentioned in that topic sentence, so this is also basically off topic. Oh, wow. And it reads like an ending sentence in a way, doesn't it? So friends, fam, and dogs, or family, friends, and dogs, however it's organized there. And if you look at it, it says family, friends, or even canines, and yet in the paragraph, the writer did family, canines, and friends. So there's another misorder. So there's another cohesion thing going on. Okay? So what really read like a pretty decent paragraph, all of a sudden is looking pretty bad organizationally, isn't it? Sentence 9 says, I love my mom and my sister. Okay, now I've lost space. So I've got to come back down here and get below sentence 5 over here. So there's 9, and it's about love. See the little heart I put in there? And then sentence 10 says, I am beyond blessed to have them in my life. Okay, so it's kind of the equal of sentence 1, but it is so generic that it could apply to almost any topic. And it's amazing how many of my students in this class, not just this section, but the other 3, will write that sentence or something close to it at the end of their paragraphs because they feel like it ties it up. I'm beyond, or you will use the one that I have at the end of the pet paragraph, which says, I don't know where I would be without these pets. You know, you just change it. I don't know where I would be without my hobbies. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So, organizationally, this sucks. I'm just telling you. Though it felt like a pretty good paragraph, didn't it? Because we think of our pets as our family. We think of our friends as family. But in that second sentence is what the kicker was, because it said, sis and mom. Got a question? Well, I'm saying don't copy that sentence and use it as your last sentence, unless you can make it sound so much more. It needs to be a little more specific to your topic. And by saying them, it says, I am beyond blessed to have them in my life. How can you be beyond blessed? Okay, let's talk about that. I was really, really blessed, okay? The whole thing is, blessed is blessed. There's not levels of blessing. You got it? Okay, so. All right, so that's what you're going to be doing. Now, that doesn't mean I want you to write a paragraph that begins, my name is Caleb Smith, and I'm from, where are you from, Caleb?
Lubbock.
I'm from Lubbock. That's not a topic sentence, because that means you can only talk about you and how you're from Lubbock. You can't talk about anything else. So you need to decide on a topic. So what we're going to do right now is, I'm going to give you I'm going to talk about possible topic areas for you to help you out, because somebody goes, well, because this is not that introductory discussion board where you can say, hi, I'm so-and-so from somewhere, and my favorite toy was blah, 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 blah. I've already graded some of them. If you've done it, I've graded quite a few of them. Last night I had choir, and so, no. Once 6 o'clock hit, I didn't go back into anything, so. But I'm trying to get the grading on those ones, and I read everything, and I want to respond to you, but I don't, because there's a lot more of you than there is of me, and then if I respond to you, you want to respond back, you know what and I don't have time to do that and get everything done. But, you know, like, kids will mention books, what the last book they read was, so I'll look it up, just to see if I'm interested in it. I actually have bought a Kindle version of one of the books, the kids, because I thought, oh, that looks good, so. It's a way for me to find out things like that. So, possible topics. So, and it needs to be, the paragraph is about you, but not really about you. Because you found out something about me, didn't you, by reading the paragraph about my pets? You found out I have a lot of pets, or I had a lot of pets. I'm down to 3 now. And I have 2 dogs that aren't even mentioned in the paragraph. I have Dobby. Y'all know where that came from? Harry Potter, because he had ears just like the house elf in Harry Potter. And then I have Reese, who's short for Reese Ann, which is a character out of books by Sarah J. Maas called Court of Thorn and Roses. So it's a fairy, fae, not fairy, a fae prince is who it is. And it's this little bitty chihuahua, so that I think it's hilarious to give him this big, heavy character and give it to a small dog. And then I have no cats anymore, so I just have the hermit crab. And he doesn't play a whole lot, so. I can hear him tapping. He's in a fish aquarium, so, you know. So you find out things about me that I like sci-fi, I like fantasy. I've always loved those things. My daughter's middle name is Arwen, named for the Lord of the Rings. When you looked at the cats' names, Pippin, one of the hobbits from the Lord of the Rings, okay? I didn't name him Bilbo or Frodo, because that's just a little too much. Pippin sounds more like me, okay? We also had a time, Popcorn, we had snack names for our pets at one point in time. When you have small children, they kind of like snack names, okay? We had Snickers that was a cat too, so. But the point is that I can tell stuff about you by what you choose to write about, so I'm sitting here thinking, I'm going to go with the kids at the high school, so how many of you participate in sports? How many of you participate in sports? Okay, or when you were in high school. Okay, so I participate in several sports at my school. There's a good topic sentence. Second sentence, football, cross country, track, okay? So you see how you've now got your 3 categories, so you talk about what you do in football, then you transition to cross country, then you transition to track. Or it could be basketball and baseball. Or it could be extracurricular activities. I like to show stock, I'm in the band, and I'm in one-act play. See how extracurricular activities, that would work for you guys. Or do you have jobs? You could write about your jobs and the different facets of your job. And my job at so-and-so, I do this and this and this. See how we're developing, you can, in a paragraph, tell me a lot about you because of what you do. But you're not going to say, I am so-and-so, and I go to Texas Tech University, even though you're sitting in the South Plains class. I have a lot of kids in summer school that take English from us because it's a lot cheaper than it is at Texas Tech. And they will go off on what they're going to do, and the rest of it, you're just like, it's all online. So sometimes they miss some of the instructions. So you can talk about your work, or you could talk about, where'd you go on vacation in the last couple of years? Boy, I have been on some of the greatest trips for vacation in the last few years. We've gone to blank and blank and blank. The reason I'm doing 3 is so that you don't have to do 3. You could do 2 and just give more specific information about the 2 places you traveled that were so neat. See how there's a lot of things you can do without saying, my name is so-and-so. You're gonna have, remember that formatting the document for class? It's in, week 1. Let me go back, show you in week 1. Oh, this touchscreen's gonna drive me crazy, I can already tell. That's what I get for getting it. So you go back to course content, and you go into week 1, and you have, right here, formatting documents for class, okay? So you don't have to tell me your name in the first sentence because it's on the paper, okay? You got it? That's why I don't want that. Or, but remember on this, let me see if, there we go. Remember, you're gonna change your name, download the document, change it to your name, my name, make sure you have the right section, which is gonna be either, 208 or 443, 208 for SPC, 443 for the high schools. And the date's gonna be, it's due Friday, 3 September 2021. And spell it out just like this. Don't go 3/9/21. It has to be written like this. This is MLA. It's already double spaced, you don't have to do it. And remember, if you don't have Word on your computer, on that, start here in the technology requirements, number 5 under technology tells you how to get your free copy of Office 365. Okay? Everybody okay with that? All right. I kind of went off topic there a little bit. And it already says personal paragraph. And you'll notice it says, I have several pets in my family. So I just literally pulled that. Okay? And you indent the paragraph. So I'm writing about that. So we've got, let's see, I'm going to give you about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. I want you to start thinking about, well, what are my hobbies? What kind of music do I like? I like this genre, this genre, this genre. My favorite books to read. What are your genres? What are your favorite TV shows? I like reality, I like soap operas, and I like game shows. Or, you know, or you could just say, I have 2 favorite TV shows I love. It's this and this. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and The Doctors. Nothing similar between those 2 shows, except they're supposedly real. Okay? Or, what are your favorite restaurants to go eat at? I like Mexican, I like Italian, and I like country cooking, which would be like going to the family restaurant in a small town. If you go to George's, that's kind of the closest have you ever eaten at a George's? You can go Friday night's catfish, they've got chicken fried steak, and you don't have to spend $40 to have a chicken fried steak. Okay. So that's your choice. So what I want you to do is come up with, think, okay, maybe I can do hobbies, maybe I can do sports, maybe I can do music. Just a couple of those, and just start thinking, do I have the categories underneath it that I can do? And I'm going to come back and ask you what you think you're going to write about. And I will ask the schools, but I'll have to move over next to the sound thing so I can hear you. And if Health Center, were you telling me you don't have sound in your room? Is that right? Or do you?
We do have sound.
Okay, I'm hearing you then. So it is so soft. Let me show you what the situation is. I got to go this way. Am I going the right direction? Let's see. Yes, I am. Okay. Can you see this little box up here on top of this big black box? That's where my sound's coming from the schools. And there's something messed up in it. So for me to hear it, I will have to walk over there with a list, and I'll actually write down what you think you're going to, I'll be doing this.
Is this better?
Okay. So right now I'm going to let you look at it. So I'll set up so you can work. I do have a question. It looks like I've had 3 people turn in your personal paragraphs. Do you guys want me to delete those so you can write new ones?
Yes.
So it would be Otamaris, Mackenzie, and Kenya. Do y'all want me to delete those? Just nod your heads or wave your hands and that will tell me if you want me to delete them. Yes, that's a yes? Okay. How about I'll just go ahead and delete them and that'll be better. People like to work ahead. Don't you hate those kind of people? It's not due till tomorrow. And remember, while I've got you here, tomorrow you have to take quiz 1, reading chapter quiz 1, reading chapter quiz 2, and turn in the personal paragraph. They open up at, let me go back and double check. Course content, quiz 1. They both open up at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I'm going with the notion that Wellman Union, you'll probably be sitting with Coach over there. You guys have from 8 until midnight to take it. Y'all take your stuff in class. But the paragraphs, none of it's due until midnight. Don't wait until 11:50 to try to take 2 quizzes and turn in the paragraph. You're going to run into problems time-wise, okay?
You said they're due tomorrow?
Yes, so, but you have 60 minutes to take each quiz. It'll kick you out after that. But there's only 15 questions. So you can skim you can go in if you're not working, you can skim the chapter real quick. Remember how I said you don't have to read every single word? Because there's a lot of exercises. You can do that and then take the quiz right after it and then go in and take the other one. But it's 2 separate quizzes.
From our on the personal paragraph, can it be more than 10 sentences?
It can be more than 8 sentences, because that's the minimum. But if you're getting up to 15 or 20, that's too many. 20 sentences in a paragraph is a very long paragraph that probably needed to be 2. I had somebody write a page and a half in summer school. And I was like, you should have stopped here. Because, to be honest, are you going to read, when you've got a book and you've got to read it, it's got this huge, are you going to read every word in that paragraph? No. So you got to consider your readers sometimes. So it might just mean instead of having 3 sections you're going to write about, do 2. You can also write about siblings. You can write about your family members. You just can't write about your pets. Because I already wrote that paragraph, and all you have to do is change a few words here and there, and you've got a paragraph. So. And remember that the quizzes they will not show up in week 1 until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. They show up for me because I'm the creator. I have all the power. And I can see, that's why I went in to check and see. I went to needs grading because I have a button that tells me that. And I could see, that's where I could see that I had those papers that were turned in. So I'm just a heads up. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and delete those first attempts at the paper. I'll do that right now. Give me 1 more minute. Let's see. Whoop, nope, can't do it. Sorry, don't have enough time. All right. My phone. All right, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start with the kids at the schools because you guys are all face-to-face and I can hear you, okay? So let's go with, I'm just going to go alphabetically. So, is it Kaylee Ann? Is that right? At Health Center? Do you have a topic yet? Sorry. Hold on. So you can see me instead of staring at an empty chair. Come on. Okay. Do you have a topic, Kaylee Ann?
She said music.
Music, okay. Music, okay. How about Canyon?
Kenyon said pets.
He can't do pets.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see that later. So think again, Canyon, all right? Otamaris?
He said football.
Is that right?
So we can't do the same.
Kenyon said football.
You're gonna write about, so you're gonna break it down into offense and defense, the 2 sides that you play?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Otamaris at Wellman? I heard a ding dong. I'm not hearing anything from Otamaris.
Music genres?
Music genres, okay. You're gonna have to speak up just a little bit, okay? Caitlin. At Health Center.
She said extracurricular activities.
Extracurriculars, okay. Lorena at, Health Center,
She said sports.
sports. Michaela?
She also said sports.
Sounds like I have one person, everybody else the same voice.
No, it's me, just me talking, ma'am.
Okay, who is me?
I'm Christian.
Okay.
Ford.
Matthias?
He said books.
All right, I like that. Christian?
I'm gonna do sports.
Okay. Is it Brevin?
Yes. He said cars.
Oh, he's gonna write about cars. Y'all can't hear him.
Your conference is scheduled to end in 2 minutes.
Wellman.
Can you say that again?
Mackenzie?
Please. Oh.
Wellman? Sports? Austin at, Health Center?
He said trucks, ma'am.
You're gonna write about trucks, okay. I kinda like that, okay. Kenya at Wellman?
I'm gonna talk about my summer trip.
Summer trip, okay. Catherine at Health Center?
She said hobbies.
Adrian, Wellman,
Family.
family, okay. Xavier at Health Center?
He said band.
Band?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. By the way, Christian, I forgot to ask you what you were gonna do yours on.
Oh, I said sports.
Okay. I'm up to Kylie.
She said hobbies.
Haley at Last Buddy.
TV shows.
TV, okay. Emily, Health Center? Help her out, Christian.
Your conference is now over. Goodbye.
Send me, of course, a message if you didn't get it, okay? It has to, Jocelyn? No?
Oh,
Okay. Real quick on you guys. Once you tell me, you can go. All right? Don't forget to do all the work tomorrow. I apologize for all that. Hopefully it'll be better, all right? Reed? Rodney?
My career in the Army.
Career? That'll work. Mason? Work? Where do you work?
Radar fire extinguishers.
What?
Radar fire extinguishers.
Interesting. Jackie? Hobbies? And Caleb? Okay. All right, you guys have a great weekend. It feels really strange when I say that to my Monday, Wednesday class. You'll have a great weekend. You know, and we're like, by the way, it's only Wednesday. So, one of the things that will happen over the long weekend, I'll start grading the paragraphs because they're due Friday night. That's one reason I'm going to grade them online, because I don't have an opportunity to print them out, so. But don't, you know, again, there's about, I'm not really sure how many I have. It's between 90 and 100 in these 4 sections, so I'll try to get them done as quickly as possible. What I tend to do is I start with my first class on Monday. I will grade the first section there, so you guys would be like the third set I would grade. The second paper, I switch it around and make that first group last to make it fair, okay? Have a great weekend. Don't forget all that work.
Get you one.
Yeah, let me go show you where that office is, okay? Oh, okay, they haven't gotten any assistance then. Okay, well, let's see if Shane's in there, because he might be able to help with that issue. Have a good weekend, Rodney.
You can have.
Do we get access to the actual, like, SBT Wi-Fi?
Yes, you should.
What, do you know the password?
It should be, if you're, yours is not an automatic hookup, is it? The password's gonna be your username, your normal SPC login for Blackboard or whatever, okay? That, all of that's the same. Okay. If you'll grab a copy of each of those, okay? I have, some of my high school kids have already turned in their personal paragraphs without instruction, so I'm going and deleting them right now so that they do it correctly, okay? Nothing against them, but they really should have waited to hear it. Hi, everyone. If you'll grab one each of those 2 pages, okay? So I'm deleting 3 essays from my 8 a.m. class. Not what I wanted to be. I left my mouse at home, so thank